Good afternoon, everyone. A little bit of a different approach with the Red Auerbach On Roundball show this afternoon. Red, here we are in Madison Square Garden, the NIT semifinals, trying to find out exactly what you look for when you scout college talent. Come on in here and introduce your special guest.
We're very happy to. On my right is Eddie Donovan, the former great collegiate coach at St. Bonaventure, now the general manager, and a great one at that, of the New York Knickerbockers. Eddie, you're out here watching games. You've gone all over the country. What do you look for? Do you look for position, or do you look for best athlete? How do you go about it?
We look for the best player available at the time of the pick. And then, if they're of equal talent, then we'll go to position. I think mistakes can be made where you might be in need of a center, but if you draft 5 centers that can't play, you're still back.
Eddie, what do you do when you go about 2,000 miles or 3,000 miles and you run into a team that uses a zone defense and they all stand around? What do? You must go crazy.
You get on the next plane and leave.
It really drives you. I know I made many a trip, and some of the key players that you go to see never showed up. On my left, I've got Tom Sanders, the present coach of the Boston Celtics, who also coached at Harvard for about 5 or 6 years. Now, Satch, this is kind of new to you. What are you looking for your ball club?
Okay, number one, Red, I frankly think that we've got to look at the positions as being very important. Now, many times you will try and read what a player is doing in college and try and project him into your system, what you think he can do for you. So, for example, a lot depends on your style of play. If you're a team like Phoenix and you're looking at a player, you have a player like Adams, of course you can take a look at a Bailey. He can play in that system because the center very seldom goes underneath. It just depends on your style of play, but obviously everybody would like to have that 7-3 man in the middle who does the whole job, no question.
Fred, on the floor right now, we have got Rutgers playing Texas. Let me start with all three of you on Texas, an unknown squad. You don't know the players, so how will you evaluate them?
All right, Eddie, let's start with you. Let's take Texas. Who, in your opinion, forgetting all the, write-ups you've seen on these players, who do you like?
Well, this is the first I've seen them, Red. And the little guard, number 11, he's got great range. It seems he has fine court sense. He was going down on the break. One time he filled the wing. One time he had the middle. He penetrated well. He pulled up and took the jumper.
The young man, Baxter, was about 225 pounds, though it seems like they have him listed here at 205 pounds. He's like a really strong player.
One of the things that I have noticed in the conversation and listening to you three is that there's nothing specific that you might look for in the course of a game. In other words, a football scout will show up with a stopwatch at practice, will time the 40-yard dash, the hang time on the punt. But a basketball scout, he sees a variety of things, and different things are important to different teams. Is that right?
That's right. And when you become interested in a player, the first thing you do is you contact the coach, and also, and Eddie will bear with me, and I know Satch is doing it too, you contact the rival coaches to find out what kind of kid this kid is. How does he play on the road? What is his attitude? Is he coachable? What kind of student is he? Is he a winner?
Satch, as a coach, would you prefer that a general manager do the drafting and listen to the scouts, or would you prefer that the coach be more involved in that?
No, frankly speaking, I'd rather certainly see the coach more involved. One of the things you have to look at...
Wait a minute. Who signed the checks? Oh, are you kidding me?
Okay, let's put it this way. Where the signing of the check comes in, I'd like to have a general manager doing it, all right?
Well, that's scouting here at Madison Square Garden. And don't forget, when you see a ball game, remember, you see it different than we see it. We're out to get the best players possible for the NBA.